Hey, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to run comps on land. I get asked all the time, hey Brent, how do I run comps on land? How do I know what land is worth? How do I run comps in my area? I'm here to show you that today. All right, so I got a couple points I want to make in this video. I want to show you one, where to find the comps, and two, how to quickly run them. You can probably see right behind me. This is super easy. Don't overcomplicate this. Hang in there with me. All right, first I want to talk to you about where to find the comps. My favorite place is Zillow.com. We've all heard of it. It's super easy to navigate, and it shows us the solds where people are actually selling land, and we can use those as comparables. You know, what is a comp? It's just a short word for comparable. When we're looking at comparables, we want to deal in apples to apples. So we want to be in like items. So for instance, say we're looking at 10-acre parcels of land. We want to look anywhere from 9 to 11 acres. We don't want to be very too far outside of that. We don't want to look at oranges. An orange would be like a buildable lot, maybe a quarter-acre lot, and we're trying to figure out what 10-acre lots are selling for. So that's what I mean by apples to apples when we're dealing with our comps or comparables. Comparables, apples, same thing. So we want to keep it simple. Let's go back to Zillow. So we want to put in our county right into Zillow.com. Let's just say our county is El Paso County, Colorado. We're going to put that in the search field and we're going to click on it. So you always want to narrow down as much as possible. You want to be as micro as possible. So in El Paso County, the city you might be interested in is Yoder, Colorado, or the town would be Yoder. So you definitely want to kind of micro down. We can leave our county the same and just kind of zoom in on the map. But let's go now to the home type. The home type, I want you to click on home type and I want you to deselect all. And then I want you to only select lots and land. And then I want you to go to more. And for more, I want you to go to property size, and I want you to be looking at the acre size. And for this first example, we're going to use 10 acres. I want to do 9 as the minimum and then 11 acres the max. So that way we're seeing anywhere from 9 to 11 acres because we're really focused on the 10-acre parcels. And then I want you to scroll down a little bit more and I want you to put sold in the last 6 months. And if that doesn't work, you might have to go and hit the sold button. You might be stuck on for sales. You want to look at the solds first. So click that and then go back to more and then scroll down and then you should see sold in the last. I would like for you to select 6 months. And then scroll back up and then you'll see the HOA. If this area is an HOA, I want you to select that. If it's not, don't worry about it. Say no HOA. So because we're not interested in areas that are in an HOA, because we want to remember apples to apples as much as possible. Sometimes you'll narrow it down so far with so many fields, you might not have a lot of availability. So you might have to go back to say 9 months, sold in the last 9 months. Sometimes be flexible. You got to play with these filters a little bit, but this is just the first part of our journey of seeing where the comps are at. All right, another place to find comps, if Zillow's not showing you anything, go to Redfin. Check out Redfin. But let's go back to our Zillow example. So we check out the solds, and now we're gonna go to the map and we're gonna see what's available. How many results were yielded in this? If there's 3 or 4 or 5, perfect. Don't expect a ton of these. And I want you to click on each and every one of these and just make sure they're comparable. Make sure there's no house on there, not any structures, because we're looking at vacant raw land here. If you see at least 5, I say that's a great number. I want to see 10, but sometimes we have to work with very limited data for land. Next, after you look at that, you're seeing what the land is selling for. Let's just say we're seeing it sell for $1,000 an acre on average. I want you now to go to the for sales. I want you to see what's available for sale. And general rule of thumb, you will see that the for sales are a little bit higher than the solds. Usually you ask for more and you get a little less. That's kind of where the solds come from. At the end of the day, a comparable, looking at the comps, the actual land value, it's really worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it. Next, I want to talk about realtors. Some of the best resources are the people that are actually in the business. And that realtor you want to talk to is a realtor that's actually specializing in land. How do you find these realtors? Well, it could be literally as easy as calling a real estate office and saying, hey, who is your real estate agent that specializes in land. And if they say, no, we don't have one, then say, hey, can you refer me to an office or a realtor that does specialize in land? And if that's not working, then go to landwatch.com, and put in your county, El Paso County, Colorado, or Yoder, Colorado, wherever you're at. Micro is possible. Yoder would be the micro of the county, because a town or a city is smaller than a county. The towns and the cities are in the county. So select Yoder, Colorado, and then scroll down until you find a real estate agent that's a land specialist in that area. Once you find that person, call them and say, hey, I'm looking for the 30-day blowout price for this land. I'm interested in a piece of land in Yoder, Colorado, and if you were to list it for me, I'd wonder what we would list it for as far as a 30-day blowout price, because I'm looking to buy it. I want to make sure I buy it at the right price. And the reason why I say 30-day blowout price, I don't want the realtor's pie in the sky number. I want the price that you can get it done now price. That's what I call the 30-day blowout price. I want to tell you a short story about one of the first parcels of land that I was buying. I was buying it for $285 and had no clue what it was worth. So I drove to the land, and then as I was leaving, I saw a real estate office down the road, and I called it. And there just so happened to be a realtor in there on a Saturday. And I said, hey, I'm looking at buying this land. I had no clue what it's worth. I'm wondering what you'd list it for me and what the 30-day blowout price would be. I want to sell this thing fast. She said, I don't know about a 30-day blowout price, but I think you can sell it in 45 days for $10,000. Well, that's all I needed. I needed to know what she thought that land was worth for me to be able to buy it at a maximum discount and sell it for the most profit possible. Another place I love going to when I'm looking for comps, how to run comps on land, I got to find the comparable properties to see exactly what the land's going for in this area. My absolute go-to is one of the land websites where actual land investors list their land for sale, and that is landwatch.com. You can go in and select the area, say Yoder, Colorado, and you can select, say I'm interested in 10-acre parcels. So I want to filter it anywhere from minimum of 9 acres and a maximum of 11 acres. And I want to look at undeveloped land. That is the box you want to check on landwatch.com. The undeveloped land is a vacant raw land, and you can look at several examples, and you want to start writing these down, like, hey, this 10-acre parcel is going for $10,000. This 9-acre parcel is going for $18,000. That's a huge example. That might be an outlier, because if you're generally seeing that the land is going for on average of $1,000 per acre, and then you see 9 acres over here that's going for $2,000 per acre because the total price is 18 grand, there might be an outlier. That might not be an apple to apple or a good comparable, because maybe there's electric there, or there's a water there, or electric, water, and septic. That's not a good comp for us to use. So another one I love using is priced.com. They help you figure out what the land is worth. They help you evaluate the land. They show you what the actual land is going for per acre, and that's priced.com. I've got actually an affiliate link below in the description. If you use my link, you'll get 7 days free trial, and your first 400 records are free. And this really comes in handy when you're actually mailing land. So I want to take you over to a quick example, but before I do that, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this video. You might have someone that's trying to figure out what their land's worth, but definitely subscribe, because I come out with these 5 days a week, and it's all about land. How to comp your land, how to run your comps, how to figure out what to sell your land for, and how to list your land. I've got so many videos that can help you on your land investing journey. All right, welcome to my super simple example of how to comp your land, how to price your land per acre. So we've looked at Zillow, we've talked to realtors, we've looked at price.com, we've looked at landwatch.com, and I'm going to use an example of a total of $5,000 for 5 acres. These are very complete round numbers, but I want to keep this super simple. So let's just say our comparable property is 5 acres. We're trying to see what 5 acres is worth, and we're generally seeing these 5 acres sell for about $5,000. Well, if you take $5,000 and divide it by 5, that is exactly $1,000 per acre. That is your average retail price of $1,000 per acre. That's what it's worth. Now let's just say that we're trying to get the land, we're trying to buy the land at, say, 20 cents on the dollar. I love to buy the land at a massive discount, because if I can sell it for $1,000 an acre, I only want to pay 20 cents on the dollar for this land. 20 cents on the dollar, that would be $200 per acre. So that's $200 per acre. So my total purchase price 200 times 5, that will be $1,000. I'm paying $1,000 for an asset that's worth $5,000. You know, you can turn around and buy something at $1,000 and sell it for $5,000. That's a pretty good return on investment. Let's do another example. We've got $10,000 is what this 10 acres is going for. Let's just say we're comparing 10 acre parcels now, and we're seeing that the average is going for $10,000. So if we take 10,000 divided by 10, again, we're at $1,000 per acre. So you're probably seeing the commonality here, or the trend here, just using really round numbers. But if I want to be at 20 cents on the dollar, what am I going to pay for this 10 acres? I'm roughly going to pay $2,000 for an asset that's worth $10,000. That is another great return on investment. So that's all I'm doing. That's the simplicity of figuring out what the land is worth, how to run comps on land. This is not rocket science. I'm not trying to spend tons of time doing this. I just talked to you about this in the last 12 minutes. You too can be an expert on how to run comps and vacant raw land in less than 12 minutes. So my name is Brent Bowers, and I've done over 259 land deals. I still have over 100 land deals paying me a monthly payment. Some of these are going to be paying me for the next 30 years. If you're interested in starting a new business or earning additional income, whether it be an extra $500 a month or $10,000 a month or even $30,000 a month, go below in the description and click on the landsharks.com. Book a call with me and my team, and I'd love to coach you on your journey to earning additional income.